Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev is official for UFC 313, the main event. We also have Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker in the co-main event for 5 rounds, which I think needs to be mentioned. I'll break both of these down, and I'll make what I think should be, fights they should add after on this card, because the card is pretty weak. I'd say a solid 2 more fights in this card's kind of, good. Let's start with, though, the main event. Let's predict these fights. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Finally happening now. I am hyped for this fight. It should have been on the state. This was the one. I thought it would be April. But Magomed Ankalaev's doing this during Ramadan. I'd be a bit worried if I was picking Ankalaev here, guys. I would be. And he's doing this during Ramadan. I thought this would be in April. They would just move it over a month. No big deal. They're doing this during Ramadan, which means they're probably going to do April as Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski too. Which would be a co-main event pay-per-view, by the way, because I don't think that rematch sells much anymore. I think we all know the result of that. So I think if you're even going to do that rematch, you should do it as a co-main event. I'm sure Ilia can last in the co-main event one time. But this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing for this date. Alex Pereira. We haven't been known to when this was going to happen. It's finally happening in March, which is kind of soon. So this is a 6-week camp for the both of them. But I trust Alex Pereira to get the job done here. I trust that his takedown defense will have improved. And I just haven't seen where Ankalaev's going to beat Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, I don't think he gets knocked out cold by Magomed Ankalaev. Just because he KO'd Johnny Walker, who's terrible, and Chinny, doesn't mean he's going to knock out Alex Pereira. Now, I know people say, he didn't look great against Rakic because Rakic kept running away. Which I think Ankalaev should have capitalized on more. Catching Rakic and putting him down. I'm kind of trying to realize Ankalaev's not that good. He's good. Obviously, he's good. He's here in this position. But he's beating Rakic, Walker, Blachowicz draw. He went to a draw with Jan Blachowicz, who was beating him in that fight. Rounds 2 and 3. And then Magomed could have won round 1, but it can go either way. And then round 4 and 5, Ankalaev pulled ahead. He pulled ahead with grappling, where he didn't even do much with it. And Jan Blachowicz is an old man. I think overall in this fight, guys, listen, I'm not fully locked on picking Alex Pereira. I am 80% sure he wins, but I don't know yet. I'm going to have to do some research. I'm going to have to do some research. I know I've been doubting Alex Pereira recently, but, I think he can get this one. I think he can get this. Personally, he's got the low leg kicks he can use. I just think the pressure, he's going to be in Ankalaev's face. He'll be pressuring. Ankalaev's boxing is not great. Other than Kutalaba KO, where he caught Kutalaba, these guys aren't good. And they're far not on the level of Alex Pereira, who does get caught with straight rights. But he showed a granite chin against Khalil Roundtree. He showed a granite chin against Khalil Roundtree. Put away Yuri Prohaska. Easily. And that's now aging well. Put Hill away easily. Khalil is actually good, and he still was able to beat Khalil and break him. Do I see him breaking Ankalaev? Probably not. But I think Khalil is better with dealing low kicks, and Pereira was able to chop at his legs. I think Alex Pereira can chew up the legs of Ankalaev. I know Ankalaev's kind of worked on that, but Rakic doesn't have any power. He doesn't have any power, man. He doesn't have any fucking power at all. That's the thing with fucking Rakic. He just has leg kicks and he backs up. And that's why he's losing all these fights. I'm gonna go with Pereira. He's got the power, and I think Ankalaev, he's not really a guy that wrestles. It's not his thing. He hasn't wrestled since the Jan Blachowicz fight, and even there, like, he had to wrestle to even go to a draw with Jan Blachowicz. I'm gonna have to go Pereira, man. Ankalaev is a striker, as far as I know. I don't see him knocking out Pereira with a head kick. I know Khalil caught him with head kicks. But I just don't see Ankalaev doing that. This ain't Dolce Lungiambula over here. I'm going to have to go with Pereira. We saw Thiago Santos drop Ankalaev in that fight. I don't see Ankalaev just holding down Pereira. I think Pereira's actually pretty strong at light heavyweight. He's got a granite chin at light heavyweight. So I don't see Ankalaev outstriking him. I don't see him dealing with the leg kicks well here. Maybe he does good in the later rounds if even he gets there, but I think Ankalaev, mentally, he'll want to hurt Pereira with the punches, try to knock out Alex Pereira. I don't trust him grappling here. When he couldn't do it, when he didn't do it against Johnny Walker, he didn't do it against Rakic. I don't see him winning. I can't. I'm going to have to go Alex Pereira. Obviously, I could change, but I just think everything's on his side here. He's turning around. This is during Ramadan, which makes me more confident in Alex Pereira. I'm going to go for Alex. I think Alex gets it done. Alex Pereira. I think he gets it done here by KO. Round 2, maybe Ankalaev has a good first round where he holds Pereira against the cage, and it's just like, please no. And then round 2, boom, Alex puts him out. Let's go, Alex. He put him away. I got Pereira. I don't think Ankalaev is all that good. And obviously he's good. But I don't know how I'd match up Ankalaev against Yuri. I don't know how I would match him up against Hill. Actually, he probably beats Hill at this point, but still. I don't know. I might pick Yuri over Ankalaev. Styles make fights, but still. I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira. I think he wins. I think he wins this fight, and I think he puts out Ankalaev badly. Mentally, I trust Alex Pereira better here. And he knows if he wins this fight, it's a big Aspinall fight. It's a big John Jones fight, potentially. He just needs to pass Ankalaev. And I don't think Ankalaev's all that. I'm sorry. I don't think he's that good. He doesn't even have any fucking subs. Like, it's not like this guy, if he takes it down, it's over. No. I don't even think he's that good, man. I'm going to Pereira, KO, and people will learn. We move on to the co-main event that was announced for 5 rounds. 5 5-minute rounds. I'm going to go with, first off, great fight. Great fight between Justin Gaethje and Dan Hooker, a scrap. You know this is going to be fun. 5 rounds as well. Good, smart move from the UFC to do that. But this kind of has some title eliminations on it. Depends how bad, but Oliveira, Sarukian, they're probably going to do a rematch and run it back, I get it. But if Dan Hooker wins this, but fucking, he already lost to Makhachev, and Gaethje, if he wins this, shouldn't really get a title shot. He needs I think he needs one more to even be in that conversation. So, I don't think so. I don't think there's any title implications on this, but this is a great fight. Do I see Justin Gaethje knocking out Dan Hooker? It could happen. At this point, do I trust Justin Gaethje to put Dan Hooker out cold? And that's it, Gaethje's back. I don't see it. I know Hooker can be cracked, but I think he's tough. He was tough against Jalen Turner. He beat Gamrot on damage, I think. I don't see the robbery there. I think he beat Gamrot, but people will complain. I think that Dan Hooker is going to I think he's a lot more skilled as a striker, and I think he can deal with Justin Gaethje. Body shots. I know Hooker can be dumb here and there and just scrap it out. Looked really good against Poirier. Now, Gaethje did head kick Poirier, but it was just a head kick. Like, I know he kind of did set it up, to be fair, but he head kicked Poirier. Fair play. It happened. Holloway scolded him. I feel like this is kind of like a Holloway fight, except a lot more closer, and I feel like Dan Hooker won't get his legs chewed up. And his legs could get chewed up here, but I feel like he can deal with that. He had good training partners for this. You know, got Izzy, who has a fight coming up as well. Yeah, I feel like he can deal with those low kicks. So, I know he beat Fiziev, but it's a whole different stylistic matchup. It's close. I'm going to have to go Dan Hooker. Like, he has momentum. He's Roddy momentum. He beat Mateus Gamrot. Good performance. Don't see Gaethje out-grappling him. Don't see Hooker out-grappling Gaethje. But if I'm going to trust someone here, I don't see Gaethje KOing him. And I think Gaethje will be stuck with Dan Hooker just in his face. And I feel like Gaethje is going to break. I'm going to go body shot TKO for Dan Hooker. Or like a knee that hurts Gaethje. I can just see Gaethje doing well early and then breaking. If this was a 3-rounder, I probably would lean Justin Gaethje. But I feel like if this is a 5-rounder, Dan Hooker can pour it on him and get the job done. It's close, though. I'm not solely locked on Dan Hooker. I'm going to look more into these two fights. But I'm going to say 75-80%. I'm leaning Dan Hooker to get the job done. Yeah, I think he wins. I think he gets it done. I know Arnold Allen slept. Arnold Allen did hurt him bad, though. But I feel like Allen has that blitzing style. Only Gaethje has that. He has like a low, big shot, Gaethje. And that was at featherweight, where he shouldn't have been at all, Dan Hooker. So I'm going to lean Dan Hooker. Now, this card has Magomed Ankalaev or Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev in the main event for the light heavyweight title. Co-main event, Gaethje versus Hooker, I don't mind. Amanda Lemos, Yasmin Lucindo on the main card. Get that on the prelims. And then the rest of the card is alright enough. You know what I would do? I feel like Gaethje Hooker can be a feature fight. Why not add another title fight on this card? Like, I think you should add like a, not even a big title fight. Like, I'd say you add, what should you do? Man, this would be a perfect opportunity to put Ilya Volk in the co-main event here. Instead of saving that for like a main event. That's what actually I would do that, but I know they're not going to. What else can you put on this? Rob won't fight this early, I don't think. Makhachev won't. And we're maybe not Bilal Shavkat because Ramadan. Actually, you can't really add it. Pantoja wants to fight in Miami. Why not add like another title fight, like a Shevchenko versus Fiorot, or something like that? I would even mind, or like a. What can I think of right now? Well, Pena is not gonna fight. Actually, keep it the way it is. It's just add some fun fights. Carlos Prates. I'm thinking of him straight away. Carlos Prates on the card against someone like Carlos Prates versus Brian Battle. That's a fun fight that you can put on the main card there. See who's the better guy. I think Prates is better than him. But like someone like that, Prates versus someone he wants to fight. You know, one of these names, Kamaru Usman, but I wouldn't do that. I'm not going too heavy on it here. Someone like that, Prates versus Battle, main card opener. Then you could have. I'm trying to think right now. Kaya Sakura versus someone. Kaya Sakura versus Alex Perez. That's a decent fight. Asakura's known. And then the feature fight can be like a decent Ooh, this will be a fun one. Like, I'm thinking of a heavyweight fight. Like, Alexander Volkov versus someone. Someone like that. You know, that's something I'm kind of thinking of. Volkov versus... If the winner of something. If it's not even the heavyweight fight, then, like, another light heavyweight fight. Like, kind of like a Khalil Roundtree versus someone. He's known. Khalil Roundtree versus Nikita Krylov or something. This is what I'm thinking of. Something that's not too expensive and not too cheap. That's what I would do. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I got Pereira winning against Ankalaev, and I got Dan Hooker winning against Gaethje. That's what I would do. Kind of like a protest versus someone in the main card opener, and then you have like a Kai Asakura versus someone, and then you can have like a Volkov versus someone or a Roundtree versus someone. These are reasonable. Come on. Peace.